Yeah, we're live. We're
Sweet.
back on the internet. It's been like a week and a half.
The internets.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Welcome to episode 110. This episode 2OC we talk about we need more heroes, Chinese garlic kitten clones, and wedding season's upon us. Again. I'm Al Flores.
And I'm Anton Dewan.
Yeah, I see you got a little thrown off by that middle one. We'll talk about that one in the
Yeah.
news.
Alrighty.
How has your weekend been, Anton? It's been a week.
Yeah, it's been a week. A lot of stuff has happened.
Yeah.
Hurricane passed by. That was a little fun. I mean, it was kind of a little scary. I mean, I had some experience in the past, but it hasn't really hit me yet.
Okay.
Like I'm scared of anything that is
Like,
4 or 5
and it was a
category.
four, but yeah, but it was a four by the time it was around central to northern Florida, right?
No, it actually went down to 3, and then it went down to 2, and then I think now it's going back up to 3.
Yeah.
But the worst part was when it was in the Bahamas, and
Mm-hmm.
yeah, it really took a toll there. I think it was in Cat 5, which is probably the worst that you can get out of this. Um, Yeah, every time it's gone here, it's only been like category 3 for me. So
Mm-hmm.
the worst that really happened in my town would be trees falling over, blackouts in certain areas, lots of
Right.
flood. Um, yeah,
Well,
but I mean, it's scary to be 4 and 5, but I haven't really experienced that yet.
yeah, and also you got lucky with this one because even though it was powerful, it kind of stayed off the coast of you guys. It didn't really the eye of the hurricane didn't like hit the coast.
Yeah, and it's very interesting because a week before it hit, you can totally see the models shooting straight
Yeah,
into the dead
right,
center of Orlando, and we're like,
right down the middle.
yeah, we're like, we should be worrying, but it's a good thing that I know that when August rolls around all the way to
Hmm.
October, it's a great time to at least have enough water in your house, and a lot of snacks, and something that is very sustainable, like instant noodles, very
Yeah.
important.
Ooh, I got a
Yeah.
story to tell you about that
Okay.
one.
Yeah,
uh,
but I don't know if I should get into Star Wars Galaxy's Edge while we're talking
uh,
about this.
uh, yeah, go ahead.
Okay, so Star Wars Galaxy's Edge just opened right before the hurricane came, and it seems like it was pretty darn busy. Smugglers Run was like around 300 minutes in order to
Hmm.
get onto the ride, and yeah, there's a really interesting reservation system. In order to get into the land itself, you have to join a boarding group on the app, and they basically section it off into different times where you're assigned to get into the land. However, because of the hurricane during the weekend, nobody really wanted to go to any of the parks because a lot of the planes were being canceled for
Yeah.
the week prior. Um,
Well, some people were evacuating too, so I think some planes got diverted
yeah,
to
so
those areas to help evacuate.
yeah, I'm pretty sure they don't want to stay here, so they want to
No.
just go home. So Orlando Airport was pretty much trampled with so many people there trying to get a ride
Hmm.
home. But other than that, it kind of took a lot of people away from the parks here in Orlando. So I found it a good way to take advantage of that. So my wife Julie and I came to the park, and dude, a lot of the stuff was like less than 75 minutes, which is
Hmm.
perfect. I got to experience Smugglers Run. First time, we crashed a little bit, but we were able to get one coaxium. I heard you can get 3, but right now, people have only seen 2. I don't know how to get 3. I've tried to look up online, but nobody really talked about it yet.
You got to think outside the box, Anton.
Yeah,
Dive into the black hole.
yeah. And it's also about teamwork. you got to have a really good team when you go on there with somebody, and
So a
especially
real
if
crew.
you're, yeah, a really good crew. Like,
Mm,
especially when you go in there with just you and your girlfriend or wife or
mm.
anything, your partner. It's really hard to team up with other people because you don't know how they are. Maybe they're one of those people who just go on the ride and like not even press buttons. They're just putting up their phone the whole time trying to record everything.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. They just want the grabbable moment instead of enjoying the actual ride,
Mm-hmm.
which is a shame because I get it
Mm-hmm.
because like some people had to wait while or they're excited about this park for months.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, but when you're there, like the what are they called? Imagineers spent so much time and effort trying to add details and level complexities, but still make it a quick ride to go through,
Mm-hmm.
and then people just skip it or don't give full appreciation for it.
Yeah, dude. This. Uh. Yeah, I'm a big fan of what they did to be able to make this whole land possible.
Hmm.
I mean, Smugglers Run is really fun. The only thing that is a big drawback is the waiting part to get onto the ride. And I'm kind of flattered that I got a chance to get onto this ride without waiting that long. So I got to go on it again a couple of days later after the hurricane, and even then, dude, the line got even shorter, which is crazy to me. It went down to 30 minutes, which is beyond crazy.
What was it at before?
It okay, so it started with 300, and then the
Hmm.
next day was like 160, 180.
Yeah.
Day after that was around the same, and then when the hurricane started coming, and that's when the president was telling some of
Get the F
the,
out.
yeah, get the f out, and that's when everything hit the fan. That's when everything started to slow down. But anyways, I got to try some really good food here. I went. Okay, I guess I was over the past week and a half. I was able to go to all of the restaurants to try a little bit of everything. The first one I got to try was Docking Bay 7. It's kind of like a sit-down restaurant. You're very familiar with it, where you go and order your food at that kiosk with the person, and then
Hmm.
you go pick up your food. You go down, you sit, and get your own utensils and eat. I was able to try their spare ribs, and it's a little spicy. Very interesting. It's got really good slaw. I guess they're going more of a theme of something that is exotic, something that is that looks like from a different planet. So it's really interesting. Some of the spices that they put on there are in different colors, something that you wouldn't put in your food regularly. So there's like purple stuff on the ribs, which is kind of interesting. It's a little sparkly. I'm guessing it's like some type of sugar or cinnamon or something like that, just to give it
Hmm.
a different look. But yeah, it's very interesting. There's a lot of other dishes that I didn't get to try, but it looks very interesting. But the drinks are really good too. I, you know, when you go to like a fast food restaurant, and
Hmm.
sometimes you want to mix up your drinks. So you would take like Coke, you would and mix it with like High C, or who does that, right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Well, Coca-Cola encourages it. I think I don't know. I think the contest is over now, but they were saying like, "What's your mix?"
yeah,
or something like that. Like hashtag "What's your mix?" You usually send in your recipe.
yeah. So Disney basically did that. They took that to their advantage because they're having so many of these drinks there already. So they're mixing like pineapple juice with Powerade with like Sprite and stuff like that to make like certain drinks, and they would call it something that is Star Wars related. So we got to try some of that, and we're like, oh, we can mix this ourselves. But there's that popcorn that a lot of people were talking about. It's at this place called Kat Saka's Kettle, and
Hmm.
it's kettle corn with some very interesting flavors. Some will taste sweet, some will taste a little spicy sweet. So tastes kind of different.
Yeah.
Um, uh, the colors are purple and red,
Hmm.
and it doesn't look normal to you, but it tastes pretty good. I wouldn't recommend people to get it if they think it's kind of expensive. It is expensive though.
Isn't everything there expensive?
Yes,
All foods?
very,
Yeah.
very. Yeah. But my favorite thing to eat here is at a place called Ronto Roasters, and they basically do like a pita with slaw, and there's a snap hot dog. So you like whenever you eat a hot dog, sometimes they have that casing on it where when you take a bite of the
Oh,
hot
like
dog, it snaps
okay, yeah, like a
like Nathan's.
schnitzel. Yeah.
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 So they put that in there.
Bratwurst.
Yeah, dude, it's delicious. It's a hot dog. You know, it's a hot dog, but the way that they implement a lot of these different tastes and flavors in there kind of makes it taste different. But it's a good hot dog is what I would call it.
Yeah.
And I think I got played on that jerky that they have there.
You
It's
got
super
played?
dry. Yeah, dude,
Uh-huh.
it's like $13 for this thing, and it's crazy, crazy expensive. And you only get like two pieces, like two big pieces around that big.
Like a little sheet.
Yeah. It's super dry. I mean, expected. It's jerky, but it's so dry to a point where you have to really use all your saliva to
You have to really savor
hydrate
that.
it.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I would say it tastes like once you get the flavors going, it tastes like Campbell's soup, like a chicken soup,
Okay.
just the stock only. That's what it tastes exactly like it. Yeah, but anyways, I wouldn't recommend the jerky. I would recommend the hot dog. Yeah,
The snap dog.
snap dog. Yeah. So another thing I got to try was the milk stand. You probably heard about it. The green
blue
milk,
milk.
and also the blue milk.
Yeah.
A lot of people did not like the green milk. It is a plant-based drink
Okay.
slush. I liked it. I actually like it more
Uh,
than the blue one.
I'm guessing something subtle. So not kale. This is too bitter. More like seaweed kind of thing, like an algae kind of mix, or grass.
It's kind of like okay, so this is what the flavors were. It's coconut and rice milk. So
Okay.
imagine like a horchata,
Mm-hmm.
but toned down,
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
but
So
with coconut.
Malibu.
Yes. Yeah. Okay. Yep. And then the blue milk is coconut and rice milk, of course, but I think it tastes more like
Okay.
a blueberry drink. It's got a little bit of citrus in there, so you taste a little bit of sour, and I think that's why a lot of people like it because it's like a little bit of familiar flavors. The green
Little
milk is a little
alien.
off for a lot of people.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, so it's kind of cool. You can try both. I like the green one. A lot of people didn't, but I mean that's just my preference. The really hard thing to get into is Oga's Cantina. That I know in California you can line up. There's a standby. I don't know how the reservation thing works over there, but the one here you have to use the app, and because so many people use the app to do reservations, we're looking at least like a month or 2 month time. I got lucky because a lot of people canceled their reservations, so I was able to get something. I wasn't able to go to Oga's Cantina until yesterday. So I went back again yesterday because I was able to get a reservation the day before. I kept checking the app. It's weird how Disney does their app where whenever you want to do a reservation, you have to press an exact time, like 1 o'clock, or it'll search 1 to 2.
It
And
gives
hit
you a little
2,
like
and
I think
it
an hour and a half,
2
2
to
hour
3.
time frame, and it's not giving you the whole day's worth of openings or whatever.
Yeah, so I had to keep doing that, and I went
Mm-hmm.
all the way to like 8 o'clock, and that's when it says 8:20. I was like, oh, all right, sure, whatever. So I booked it. Okay, so Oga's Cantina. I would say if you were to get into this cantina, I recommend standing. The reason why I say that is because you
Yeah.
get to look around more. You're able to see what's around you. You're able to walk around and look at stuff while you're drinking. Um, but other than that, if you're sitting down, it's good to have like a big party to sit down because that's the
Mm-hmm.
only way that would make sense. But yeah, there's so many things to see in there. Like there's so many Easter eggs. You see like the bucket that they usually put the milk in. You can see DJ Rex. Rex is, I think he was from Star Tours, if I'm
Uh,
not correct. He used to be on that ride, and they scrapped him. They put that little guy
oh,
that's like
okay.
scanning
The one that's being a
luggage.
smartass.
Yeah, but yeah. But anyways, Rex, his ship crashed onto Batu, and he just started working at the cantina, and he's a DJ, so he's playing music. It's kind of cool, and I guess a lot of the people that were working there, they kind of make it look like or feel like
Mm-hmm.
you're at a bar. So they're once in a while when they're playing like a certain song, the whole crew would just
Yeah.
like go hey, or just start singing. So it's kind of cool to experience something like that. So it does kind of give you that feel of an actual cantina from the movies. The drinks are
I'm
very, very
guessing
expensive.
15 to
They
$18 for a small drink.
Yeah, yeah, you could say that. It's around that much. You're looking at least
Mm-hmm.
$15 per person. Um, Snacks, not so much. They only have like one snack on the menu to share. They do have like a kind of like a jelly thing with like mixed drinks or um, that you can scoop up. So it's basically like
Okay.
popping boba pearls. I guess a lot of people don't really, drink popping
Well,
pearls, so it's kind of
I mean
different to
that's
them.
mainly like
Uh,
Vietnamese areas. So, Southern California, parts of Florida,
yeah.
like it's not really that common. Maybe Texas. Yeah.
hmm
Yeah.
Yeah, Texas. Yeah. So yeah, the drinks. There's one drink that's very expensive. It is the pork drink. It's a mug made. It looks like someone basically took a piece of
Oh,
wood and start
the
like
tiki, is it a tiki
chopping
porg?
off a bunch.
Uh, I don't know why
Yeah,
tiki's
tiki
a thing
pork.
now.
Yeah. Yeah. So it's a tiki pork, and that drink was
Yeah.
$35.
I'm
But you
assuming the
get to
pork
keep
is probably
the
20
mug.
bucks by itself.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, so the thing that I really notice about this land is everybody that works here is trying their best
Mm-hmm.
to really get into character. So while we were just sitting ordering our drinks, the group next to us, they were waiting for their receipt or just waiting for
Right.
their card to be charged. So the waiter came back. She's like, "Oh, sorry, Porgs ate all the receipt. I had to go back and
Okay,
reprint."
first of all, that's a health code issue right there. Why the hell are there porgs in the kitchen or near the food? That's an infestation. I want a
Yeah.
discount. I want to talk to manager.
Well, you already saw in the movie. You saw that they
Yeah,
started like
yeah,
spreading like
yeah,
wildfire on
that's
the
true.
Millennium Falcon.
They took over the whole ship.
Yeah,
Uh,
yeah.
how okay?
Okay,
Because this is also during the hurricane time, around the time the weather was changing. How humid was it
yeah.
on a scale from
So
humid to
before,
humid AF?
okay, so before the hurricane, it was humid
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
AF.
because all that warm air is coming
Yeah.
in.
Yeah, and you could totally tell
Mm-hmm.
how humid it was because when you go onto to this land, they put out a bunch of water stations
Mm-hmm.
throughout the whole entire land. So within like 30
Yeah.
steps, there's a drinking station. So they were trying to
Hmm.
keep everybody hydrated, which is a good thing. And I think you should be hydrated right now too because it's pretty hot in
That's the thing. It's
California.
probably like in the high 80s, low 90s, but it's humid, dude, and that's the thing that's killing
Uh
me.
huh. Yeah,
Yeah, and
that's
I think
kind of
that's
different
the
for
big difference.
California.
Well, I think one person died in Malibu Beach over the weekend because they were dehydrated, and they died from heat exhaustion. So I'm like,
Holy crap.
that shows you how spoiled we are here.
Uh
That
huh.
like we're not used to humid weather, so a lot of people don't realize how much moisture
Mm-hmm.
they're losing in this weather. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Got
All right, I'm gonna try to wrap this up. So, I guess the coolest thing about this land is there are so many things you can do. We were able to build our droid. Costs very expensive. I can't believe I spent so much money on this park. And
it's a damn bracelet, wasn't it?
um,
Your what's it called? The
bracelet.
magic bands?
The magic bands. They don't
No,
cost
no,
that
no.
much.
I'm
They
saying
actually give
though,
you
that
one
was
for
just
free
you
when
waving it
you
around the
become.
whole Galaxy's Edge. Wasn't
Oh,
Oh,
that's still one thing I didn't do yet is put a credit card on it because I know that would
blue
be
milk
like,
for
oh, here,
everybody, just for me and her.
Yeah. So, yeah, we built our droid for $100. You basically customize it.
Oh,
We only
okay. Yeah,
got
good to know
one.
you're sensible.
I wanted a, I wanted an
That'd be
R2
nice.
unit. Julie wanted a BB
Got an
unit.
R2.
So,
I got an R2B.
yeah, she built that.
Did you get an R2B? A hybrid of
What's that?
both?
No, no, you can't
Yeah,
do that.
I
It
did
doesn't
it. It
work
just
that
topples forward.
way. Yeah, but I did see that $25,000 R2D2
Oh,
unit that you
is
can
that a
order and
replica size?
customize. Yeah, it's a replica size. It's an actual like moving one that you can customize yourself. So you can tell them like what color you want, in what area, and how you want to customize it. And for $25,000, yeah, I want to customize it. Yeah, I don't think I
Yeah,
want to
no.
buy that anytime soon. Yeah. One last thing about the park, or two last things about the park. Rise of the Resistance isn't open yet. For us, it's going to be opening in December. In California, they're going to open it in January. So we're going to experience it first. From what I heard so far, from what people have seen, is that it's 4 different rides. So you go on a ride, you get off, you go on another ride, then you get off, then you go on another ride, and then you get off, and then you go on
Okay.
one more ride. So I don't know how that works, but that sounds pretty crazy
Chaotic.
and
Yeah.
huge, and I don't know what to say. Yeah. And then last thing about the whole thing here is when you run out of things to do, they have this new play app where you can download, you can go around, you can do like scavenger hunts, you can hack stuff throughout the land. And it's very cool. You can hack the Millennium Falcon and then shoot like, air out
They're
and
really
just
taking from
compressors and
that
stuff.
whole wizarding world, huh?
Yeah, but instead of buying
Yeah,
a
but I'm saying
wand,
that, like the
you just
interactiveness
use
of
your
the
phone
land.
and play for free. Yeah. And yeah, everything else is very interactive. I really enjoyed it. Oh, yeah.
Goddamn Steve Jobs.
One more thing. Sorry.
One more thing.
One more thing. Building a lightsaber. I haven't done it
Okay, yeah,
yet.
because I mean that'd be another $100.
Yeah. No,
Oh, I'm
it's
sorry.
$200
I'm sorry.
or $250. Yeah, and I know Julie would kill me.
You know what?
I have 3
You know what? She's
lightsabers
not gonna
here
kill
already,
you. She's just
so
gonna break your leg so you can't go around spending money. Uh, I'm sure she's used.
yeah. So I'm trying to say that I'm trying to say, hey, you can build your own lightsaber and just have her build it.
Yeah, she married you. All right.
Yeah.
Uh,
Yeah.
so
All
part
right.
way through telling your story, you reminded me of a story I heard. So I
Mm-hmm.
was googling it to try to pull it up,
Mm-hmm.
and as I'm reading, reading the headline, I look
Mm-hmm.
up and I notice it looks like I'm falling asleep because my eyes are down, but because of the camera angle, it looks like I'm just like drowsy because I'm like this. I was reading.
Yeah, I noticed
Yeah, I
that.
was
I was
reading
like, I
something.
think
So
you're
just to
reading
clear
something.
that. No, because
Yeah.
let me see here. The 29th, what was that? Friday, Thursday of last week. Uh, a guy got killed at Disneyland, and it was a construction worker. Well, here's the thing. So I was like, my first thought was like,
Hmm.
and this, I understand it's tragic. It sucks for the family, but my first thought was, is this the first confirmed death at Disneyland? Because there's that whole legend, myth, whatever, that nobody ever dies at
Yeah,
the happiest place
yeah,
on earth.
yeah. They have to bring the person out, go on the
So
ambulance,
here's
and
this
then
worker at
declare him
Disneyland
dead.
dies after a metal plate strikes him, and so the man was working for on the HVAC system, and him and a crew were installing a new they just say piece of equipment. As they were trying to lower that equipment through a crane, the thing slipped. It hit up one of those metal construction plates, like those big tough big plates, whatever. It slipped and it hit him while he was in a trench. The first sentence I read
Ooh.
on this was a 37-year-old worker struck by metal plate while working on HVAC system at Disneyland earlier Thursday died later that day. So that means he didn't die at the park, or they didn't confirm it dead at the park. It
Dude,
sounds,
it
dude,
sounds
those
like he
metal
died at
plates
the park
again. These are
though
the metal
because of
plates that they won't buckle under a lot of weight. They're I mean they're the ones that they lay on the road when there's like open trenches. You get struck by those.
yeah.
Yeah,
It's instant
yeah.
kill.
So I'm like,
Instant
oh,
kill.
damn it.
Yeah.
Like, well, I mean, okay, not. I gotta be more careful how I word this, but yeah, still no death at Disneyland in the park.
Yeah. Okay, so because I went to okay, I didn't really plan to go
Liar.
to Galaxy's Edge. Uh no, I'm serious. I didn't plan to go because I knew it
Mhm.
was gonna go really crazy with so many people and it's gonna be a really big crowd. But I'm glad I went because I got one of these and these are special for the first
Lithograph.
opening week only.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Okay.
And it's really nice inside. I mean, on the back, like I mean, and the front, you could
Okay.
feel
Also,
the
Anton.
print.
A
It feels
majority of
really
our
rough.
audience is audio only, so you gotta explain what you're holding.
Okay, yeah, okay. So I'm holding up the this week's Star Wars Galaxy's Edge Hollywood Studios map, and this one is it looks kind of like holographic. So you see in the front there's a Millennium Falcon, and it's flying
Hmm.
out of Batu. And inside it's got a little bit
Yeah,
of Chinese
that is some
festivities.
quality printing right there. Yeah. So I mean, save it.
Yeah,
Yes, I
you
would,
want one
because
of these,
50 years from
Al?
now, my kids gonna be like,
Okay.
"What?" Um.
Yeah, and you can only get it this week. So
Okay.
I got two. I got one for myself,
Appreciate that.
and I got one for you, and then I actually have one that I'm
No.
just crumping up and everything. So
I mean that's cool, because I mean, couple decades from now, that's kind of like, having one of the first Disneyland tickets. Yeah, stuff like that.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah, exactly.
frame it up.
So my week, not as fun as yours. Mine has mainly been a mixture of
Okay,
laziness and headaches. Uh, First, me and my girlfriend, we
okay.
did a Fast and the Furious weekend. So last episode, that sounds terrible, I know.
Whoa.
Last week I talked about, or last episode I talked about how I got the collection of Fast and the Furious um, on Blu-ray and digital. But yeah,
Yeah,
well,
okay.
the
When you
deal's
can,
done. So just
or
keep following us on Twitter for other deals. Uh,
or just go
that's
buy
true.
it. You don't need the deal.
So we skipped the first two because we remember, Tokyo Drift. Remember the first one? Okay, so we just literally Friday, Saturday, and Sunday was just like either one or two movies. And god damn it, dude, we honestly don't understand how these movies made it this far. Like, uh, I mean, the only
Uh-huh.
way we were able to get past uh even get to the Fast Five was just to start making fun of it. Like, we weren't even trying to take the movie serious anymore. We were just making fun of them, like calling out their BS. Uh, It's
Mhm.
it's
But it's
you know what?
fun. It's a
And the
fun
only reason
movie to
we're
watch.
motivated because Hobbs and Shaw was so fun. This is no. Like
Hmm.
it's no. Um yeah, it's but good things came out of it though because one thing you reminded me of is actually I'll send it to you. I'll send you the link right now. Uh Sergeant Pepperoni. It's a pizza place, I believe in Newport. They posted this on their Instagram.
Hmm.
Uh, they called it a pizza made with instant noodles or instant ramen.
Hmm.
Pretty much,
Hmm.
and since that's on the video, but for audio listeners, it's pretty much you get those instant noodle packets. You take out the packet, you put the noodles on a tray. Uh, Top ramen, there you go.
Top
You
ramen.
put the noodles on a tray. You put a little bit of water, bake it a little bit to kind of let the noodles soften up a little bit, and then you take it out. You layer it with sauce and then cheese and then pepperoni. Put it back in the oven, and it kind of comes out like a giant square pizza. It didn't come out as a
Hmm.
pizza, but it's still surprisingly good. It was pretty much yeah.
Wait, you
That
tried
is
it at
one thing.
home, or
That's like
did
the
you
thing
go
me
there
and
and
my
try?
girlfriend did on Friday. Instead of ordering food or going out to dinner, we just kind of went to Rouse, got the stuff, and made it at home. And for $8 worth of ingredients, we fed her family, and her family loved it. Yeah,
Hey, that's pretty fun, dude. That's
yeah.
something really fun to do
Yeah,
with your family.
it
Yeah,
was
that's
interesting.
cool.
Like I'm like, well, cool. We kind of want to try other things, so we're probably gonna try other instant ramen, or what was it? Well, instant noodles, whatever. Top ramen recipes and see what we come
Yeah,
up with. So apparently there's another
yeah.
instant ramen pizza recipe where you literally cook the noodles like thoroughly, like in the boil it in water. Put them in a pan, like a little 8-inch pan, 10-inch pan you have, and let them lay flat, and then kind of bake them again to kind of get that square, kind of crusty
Hmm.
pizza, and then start layering the stuff. Yeah.
Hmm.
Uh, but yeah, I
Interesting.
mean, if you're on a budget, that
Yeah,
is not a bad recipe to do.
yeah. Sounds like a fun night. I guess when you guys come over here and visit us, we'll probably do a night
Instant
where we
ramen
cook
noodle
something.
challenge. The other thing, we both
Yeah.
have weddings coming up that we're going to. Uh, you're
Hmm.
going to our friend Twin's
Yes.
wedding, I believe the 17th. I don't have my calendar with me.
Next weekend.
14th.
It's next Saturday.
Okay. I'm going to my cousin's
Hmm.
wedding later this month in Northern California, and they wanted me to stay at my aunt's place, but the 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 parents of the bride on a wedding weekend. I'm like, I don't want to be near that chaos.
Yeah. Yeah, I'd
And
rather
so
get a
my cousin,
hotel
she
and
told me,
stay.
she's like, you know what? Because she works at a casino over there. It's like one of the Indian casinos. And she's like, I made a
Hmm.
deal with my casino for because I'm an employee and because I'm getting married there with the venue. They offer a discount for a one, starting the discount just under $300 for a casino room in the middle of nowhere, like literally like outskirts of Sacramento.
Wait. Total for the entire trip is
She
300
said
something, or
Friday night and Saturday night. But when I first checked the website, it only said 290, starting at 290 for one night. I was like, nope,
wow,
nope,
that's pretty
nope. I don't
high.
see what else. So I went to Airbnb. I managed to find us a 3-bedroom house for
Hmm.
80, or actually, no, this is the other one. I think 110 dollars a night. Yeah,
Dude,
yeah. So
that's a
try to
steal.
book it.
Yeah.
Something happened with my account where there was an open ticket. I don't know if that's again like something wrong with my account
Hmm.
or if they flagged me for whatever reason. But the person that
Hmm.
host wasn't able to accept my request for at least 2 days, and I could not get a straight answer out of Airbnb. Or they kept telling me it's like, oh, we're working on it. We've escalated it. I'm like, cool. How long is it gonna take? We don't know. Uh,
maybe it's because your account's still fresh and that you have to be a member for however many. Because like I know that when you start hosting, you can start picking like who you want to have as your
So
guests.
they finally figured out. I just got an email saying your account's good now. Go ahead and book. Like they didn't give me an explanation. It was just it was their what they called them. I guess like issue managers or something. I forgot what it was. But yeah, like they just emailed me saying your account's good now. You should be fine. I'm like, okay, then tell me anything, but whatever. I'll try it again. And I finally managed to book it, so we're set. Total, I think, is gonna be 350 with the fees and all that. So I mean, 350. I'm splitting it with my brother and his wife. So really, it's like 175 for an entire house.
Dude, that's
Yeah, so
that's the
fine.
best way to
And
do
like
it.
we're right
Yeah,
between my aunt's
that's
house
nice.
and the wedding venue, so we're right in the middle of both. So good distance. Yeah.
Yeah,
All right.
that's
Okay.
good. That's
I've
cool,
been seeing
dude.
this in this for what the hell's Dochi?
Yeah, Dochi. Okay, so Dochi is a donut mashed
Ah.
up with
As soon as you said donut, I'm
mochi.
like, oh, don't say mochi. Don't say mochi.
Yeah,
Was it
it's good.
okay? Was it you that told me?
I,
Somebody else told me about this.
I think it's a popular thing in California right now. And
Hmm.
I guess other parts of the country. It's good. When you get it fresh, it's crispy on the outside and it's
Yeah,
chewy in the
I
center.
can't remember. I think there's a place around here that has it. Hmm.
Yeah, they look like a donut, but they taste like mochi. Well, it's. I think you get mochi at the
Hmm.
very end because of the chewiness of it. But the crispy part, the topping, the glaze,
Hmm.
it tastes like a donut. But it's when you start chewing is when it goes, oh,
I'm
this is
trying to get back in
mochi.
shape, Anton. Come
Interesting.
on, dude.
Yeah. Yeah, sorry. Yeah, but it's kind of cool. Like it's not an actual store yet. It's been a
Hmm.
pop-up for like the past month. So every time there's a pop-up, people would come by and it's starting to spread like wildfire. Like people are actually um more exposed to it. They're like, "Oh, that's cool." And they start coming by and it usually sells out like around 2 o'clock when they
Mm,
say they open to like 3.
that's cool.
So
Eh,
yeah, it's good. You should try it, dude. I think there's like
so
two,
is
three
this like the
places now in
level
Southern
popularity
California.
like the blueberry donuts were? They're
Hey,
I
the
agree.
blueberry donuts are
And you know
so
what? They still
freaking
get a
good.
nice crowd, but I think it's not as bad as it was during like the peak of that trend. All right.
Yeah,
Last
yeah,
thing on
that's true.
our week updates is Control.
Oh yeah, so I was able to check out Control, which is a video game made by Remedy. You probably played some of their games before.
Yeah. Yeah.
Max Payne
The
one
whole
and
time.
two, and yeah, and they had a game that came out fairly recently called Quantum
Mm,
Break.
no, it doesn't sound familiar.
Have you heard of that one? It stars one of the guys that were in a lot of like TV shows and stuff. He was in Smallville. He was in I think he was in he was in like Disney movies too. The ones on the Disney Channel, and he was also the guy that was playing
Oh,
Iceman in
which one though? Because there's
X-Men.
twins. I thought it was the same guy, but it's two different guys.
Uh
There's twins,
oh
yeah.
yeah, they're twins.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I totally forgot about that. Yeah, yeah. So yeah, it's one of those guys. He was in Quantum Break. But anyways, this game called Control. It's very interesting. Um, it's totally
Mhm.
messing up with my mind right now. When you first get into the game, they tell you about the a little bit about the story. It's basically this girl. She had this problem when she was like for her childhood. She had a brother, and he got taken away from the bureau. And the bureau is Bureau of Control, and the crazy thing is people don't know what the Bureau of Control is because it exists,
Hmm.
but you can't find it. um, if you if you're looking for it, you won't find it unless someone's showing you where it is. So the Bureau building is located in like the middle of the city, kind of like New York City. And when you walk past it, you won't even see it unless you know. So when you go in there, things start to get a little weird. You walk into the building, it looks like any other police station or bureau or anything like that. But when you go to like hallways and stuff, you start to lose your way. They say that this building is very interesting because it keeps shifting. So when you're going down the hallway or you're getting out of an elevator, you go down a little bit, you turn back, you still see the elevator. You go a little bit, you turn back, the elevator's not there anymore. It's just a wall.
I'd get frustrated with that kind of game.
Yeah. So then when you go into this room, you go back out, and then the room's not there anymore. Yeah. So this game is really messed up on how everything is. But there's a reason for that. Like they're experimenting with objects around the world. So the Bureau of Control is basically people who go out there and try to figure out things that are haunted, things that are out of order, and they would take it and they would investigate it. They do tests and try to understand why things are the way they are. And because of the objects that they have, it totally makes the whole entire building like
I was like, careful
so
where
the
you're going to say
building's
that.
always shifting. Yeah. So anyways, you play as this girl who becomes the director of the whole entire bureau, and she only got that job because as soon as she got there, the director shot himself, and then she takes his gun, and the gun actually talks to you, which is kind of weird. And things get even weirder as you play throughout the game, because when you get certain objects, you start getting more powers. You have telekinesis. You can teleport. You can float. Yeah, so it gets pretty crazy. And it feels a little bit like Max Payne, because when you used to play Max Payne, you would see it like move slow motion, like kind of like in the Matrix. Yeah, so I guess these guys are known for doing games that are very motion based.
Probably lots of graphic. I sent you a link to the picture of the guys' names are Sean and Aaron Ashmore. Yeah.
Yeah.
The only reason and trust me, dude, this is fairly recently that I rediscovered it. I think there was an episode where I told you I was rewatching Smallville. In that process, I realized that there's a bad guy. I don't know which of the twins it was. It was like in the early seasons, and then later on, the other one joined the cast as what's his name? Blanking out now. Jimmy Olsen. And I was like, wait, but he was a bad guy. Like, what is he doing? And looked it up. Oh, it's two different guys. Oh, apparently they're twins. I didn't.
Yeah, I never knew that too. That's totally throwing me off.
I wouldn't
go
to tell them apart.
Yeah, they were like in so many.
You know
things.
what? I mean, 2-for-1 actors, I guess.
Yeah.
All right. Let's see here. Self-control. All right, Anton. We are very long into our week updates. Ready into news?
Mm-hmm. Yes. Let's.
All right. News. Starting off here. Chinese kitten. The first Chinese kitten was cloned recently. The kitten's name is Garlic.
Does Garlic have
the kitten is perfectly healthy. Apparently what inspired his creation was Garlic, the original Garlic, the OG Garlic, died, and the owner was so distraught that he went to a Chinese company to get the cat cloned, and success. So Garlic is the first cloned kitten. Apparently this company has also done 40 other clones, but they were dogs. And those dogs were cloned for about 53,000 each. We don't know how much it costs to clone Garlic. But I mean,
oh wow.
Okay, first of all, like how much I love my dog Goldie when he passed away. But I also know that cloning does not mean they're transferring the personality of the animal. So it's just another
Yeah.
dog that happens to that looks the
That
same.
looks
Does
the
not
same.
mean they're gonna be like the same personalities and the
No, they have to be brought up the
exactly.
way
So
they
I
were.
personally think
Yeah,
this is a waste
everything's
of money.
unique. Hmm.
But then again,
Yeah.
yeah, but then again, I think some of
True.
the people also too are just doing like the purebred, purebred dogs. So
Hmm.
one way to keep it pure is don't even introduce another DNA strand into it.
Yeah. So I was thinking, like, if I do get a dog for myself, I think I would probably get a wiener dog.
I think they're cool, but they're also notorious for having back
Hmm.
problems. And I think after like age 8 or 9, I'd get really sad. I'm like, bro,
Hmm.
like just chill. Okay, whatever you need, bro, I'll bring it to you. Just chill. Uh,
Yeah. Yeah, it's pretty sad. I think I had a friend that had one, and he had to put him down
yeah,
after
yeah.
9
They don't
years.
those
Yeah.
designer breeds. I forgot what like those cosmetic breeds,
Hmm.
like the ones that are just there for no other purpose other than to look different or to look a certain way. Um,
Yeah, I feel bad for corgis because like they can't. It doesn't look like they're trying to run. It just looks like they're
No, those
they're going
freaking
through a tough time
Frenchies,
just walking.
yeah, like those like special like expensive Frenchie dogs that are now popular. That I really can't tell the difference between that and a pug.
Yeah.
But apparently those they
Hmm.
can't breed naturally. Like they're too fat
No,
and they're first of all,
I think it's just in the
no no
facial
no.
area that's making
So
them.
the
Uh,
males they're too fat to breed, and then the females like something's wrong with
mhm.
their uterus, so they can't. The only way to get those dogs is through the process of test tubes in vitro.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's the
like
only. So
forcing
like
it. Yeah.
yeah, those type of dogs. But I don't know. I personally go adopt.
Hmm.
Uh,
Yeah.
next up, Anton,
All right.
game that's very near and dear to our hearts. I'll let you take this one.
Yes, it is being switched over. It's Overwatch, and we've been playing this for a very long time now, since the very beginning of the launch. And I think that was in
Yep.
2016, and this game
Yep.
is still hot. This game is still good. I think the only reason why it still holds up is because they always change things to the whole composition of gameplay. You usually
Mm-hmm.
play as teams, kind of like Team Fortress, for whoever is familiar with that. Yeah, they always introduce new characters. So when they introduce new characters, it changes the whole game every single time. And because of that, it keeps the game a lot more
Yeah.
fresher every
Well,
single time.
also
Um,
Blizzard is not
yeah.
keeps very close tabs on what the frequent strategies are, what's going on, what players are doing, either spamming, doing repetitive things in general, or just like certain tricks that just
Mhm.
keep working over and over again. They're really good at coming with characters that counter those things to kind of keep the dynamic going.
Yeah. Well, since the very beginning of the game, it wasn't even
Mm-mm.
supposed to be a first person shooter. It was supposed to be like a
Mm-hmm.
MMORPG, kind of like World of Warcraft, but they wanted to be more of an action
I saw more
game.
of like a City of
Um,
Heroes kind of
and
thing.
yeah, I thought so too. And the whole game got scrapped, and they thought it was a waste because they spent so much
Yeah.
time building the engine and building, this world. So that's why they ended up just releasing a free for all game where
Yeah.
you just shoot against each
No
other, and
story
there's
either.
really no rules until, yeah, no story either. And it just got to a point where they're able to slowly etch things together and make it what it is today. And I think that's the coolest
Hmm.
thing about this whole process for this game. Yeah, but pretty excited, dude. It's gonna be ported to the Switch, which I'm really happy for because
Yeah.
it's gonna be more portable. I think this is gonna be the first portable
I'm curious how the
version of this
gameplay is going to
game.
translate.
Um,
Like on a small screen because it's a
yeah,
lot of things going on at once. You mean you can be
Mm-hmm.
I can the
Mm-hmm.
controls might be a little bit easier because you have that space and you can see also, but just trying to keep track of everything going on, that's going to be a little chaotic. So we'll see.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I did see that you're able to
Mm-hmm.
use motion
Oh,
controls, so that's kind of cool. When you use your alt, you can, let's say the Riptire
Junkrat.
from Junkrat, you can actually move your whole unit around, and it'll
Just that motion of
maneuver.
moving your unit around. Um, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, this has kind of been the rumor for the past week because even on the 27th of August, I posted that there's rumor that Overwatch might be coming to the
Mm-hmm.
Switch because Amazon accidentally leaked a posting for a Switch case with the Overwatch logo and colors. Which, by the way, the case looks sweet.
Yeah.
Like it's not over. It's not too much. It's not too little. It's good design.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So it looks like it's coming out in
Yeah.
October, which is very soon. That's kind of cool that they're able to do all of these releases within a couple of months of
Mm-hmm.
just announcing them.
All
So
right, Nathan. See here. We're both fans of Dragon Ball Z. This is kind of a long time
yes.
series. Funimation. It does a lot of dubbing for a lot of different animes that come from Japan. Even if the animes in Japan have their own dubbing, Funimation, retranslates them into dialogue that's more suitable for the United States. Uh,
Yeah.
and I think they're also in charge of the distribution, right? They have their own channels now.
Mm-hmm.
But there was a scandal that happened.
Yeah.
There was a leak of the actual English uh, voices for these characters reading Dragon Ball Z porn in character. Yes. So
Wait,
th-
what?
so uh, there's there's clips that came out of the actual voices of
Mm-hmm.
I think the one I posted on Twitter was Kami, Popo, and Piccolo doing sexual activity, not necessarily like flat out. These are
Like
the
these are
actual
the
voices.
actual
Yes,
voice
like they're in the
actors.
studio messing around, just reading it, but in character. And the audio footage, the audio leaked,
Uh huh.
and now Funimation is wrapped up in this investigation because it's
It's
unprofessional.
unprofessional. Yeah.
Apparently, some of the people working there didn't feel comfortable, so that's sexual harassment. There's apparently some very homophobic remarks that were made. It's just this whole thing, dude,
Mm-hmm.
and
Oh man, their careers are going to be
it's not even their
jeopardized
careers.
for
It's the
sure.
actual company Funimation that's going to be in trouble because it's their equipment. It was their
No, I'm talking about like people that the people that are doing
yeah.
it, which is the voice actors. They're
Yeah,
they're
and
done
the thing is,
for.
like, these are like the voice of like
Yeah.
Krillin, the OGs. These are like the guys. Um,
Yeah. Yeah, Funimation, I mean, they can just fire them and hire
if
somebody else, and that's pretty
if
much the only thing
Funimation
that they're
keeps
going
the
to get,
contract for the American dubs of Dragon Ball Z, yeah, that and apparently Funimation
Okay.
is already wrapped up in other lawsuits around sexual workplace sexual harassment, other former employee
Mhm.
complaints. So this is kind of the icing on the cake for that, and
Mhm.
like the actual proof of how unprofessional that environment has been. Yeah,
Yeah.
I'll after we
It's
record, I'll
crazy.
send you the link that I posted on Twitter so you
Mhm.
can listen to the audio. It's
Okay.
funny, but at the same time, it's so wrong. There's like people commenting saying like, "Oh, what am I listening to?" All right, Anton. Let's wrap
Yeah.
this up on a nice little note here. Tomb Raider with Alicia Vikander. Damn it, I can't remember her last name. Vikander. Vikander.
Vikander.
Uh, we're finally going to get the sequel, and director Ben Wheatley
Yes.
has been tied to it. I don't really recognize his name. I looked up his IMDb. IMDb. He does like shows here and there. He
Mhm.
did like 2 episodes of Doctor Who. He did some like other 3 episodes of other shows. No real long term projects. The most notable project
Mm-hmm.
I can think of was 2015 High Rise with Tom Hiddleston. But other than that, I
Mm-hmm.
really don't know much about this guy. So I'm kind of curious of what is going to happen with this Tomb Raider franchise.
Well, okay, just by hearing that he directed some episodes of Doctor Who, kind of tells you he's a big
Hmm.
fan of pop culture. So I think he's gonna give the
So
fans
do you think
justice.
this is one of those that they
Um,
hired a director based on his knowledge of the subject matter rather than the name itself?
I think so.
Okay. I mean, that's the way to
Yeah,
go
I
nowadays.
think so.
All right, Anton. Ready to go
Hmm.
into streaming? All
Yes,
right.
let's go into streaming.
First up, yeah, I'll give it to you. Go ahead.
Okay, so I started checking out this anime. It's called
Anton, we just
Cannon
talked about what happened to
Busters.
Funimation. No more of this dirty anime stuff.
Just because it's called Cannon
You,
Busters doesn't mean
you,
any of that dirty
we've
stuff.
both busted a few cannons in our life.
Hmm. All right, so Cannon Busters is a new anime, and this is produced by Netflix. And the cool thing about this show is it's a combination of a lot of different animes that we grew up watching. Um, and it kind of shows because the creator of this series, his name is let's see here, Leon LeSean Thomas. He's he's from the U.S. He had a really big passion for a lot of animes growing up, so he moved to Japan because he's an illustrator, but he wasn't doing that great in America. And he knows that if he goes to Japan, he can probably get a job in Japan being a artist. So he came up with this series called Cannon Busters. It's about a guy who is currently uh, on a bounty, and there's a bunch of bounty hunters trying to chase him down. I would say this anime is kind of a combination of Cowboy Bebop, Trigun, and I guess Avatar: The
it,
Last Airbender. All of
it's
those
almost like
three combined
Netflix did a
together.
demographic and knew what people like watching and just made a product that's so similar.
Exactly. Yeah. So you know how like Netflix is doing all of these animes all of a sudden? They've been producing quite a bit of different genres, and they actually put out a documentary called "Enter the Anime"
Oh
on
yeah.
Netflix, and it focuses on, yeah,
Hmm.
you should check it out. It's kind of interesting. It's about a girl who doesn't know anything about anime, and Netflix basically called her and say, "Hey, we need you to make a documentary about these anime that we're making." So she kind of got pulled into the whole rabbit hole of anime, and she became a fan just by watching a couple of them. And she wanted to know more about it, and she went to Japan and learned more about it. But anyways, Cannon Busters is probably a really good series that I highly recommend checking out, because if you're a fan of any of the ones I
Hmm.
listed earlier for anime, this is something for you. I can't really wait until the live action Cowboy Bebop comes out, because I know that's gonna be super awesome. Because Netflix is actually really helming what they're putting out on for
Yeah.
content wise on Netflix. So super excited that hopefully
Yeah. I
it's gonna
mean,
deliver.
Netflix. Yeah, they had their couple years of where they were just funding everything they could, and then after canceling a lot of
Mm-hmm.
shows and stop like canceling the production of some movies, I think they're being more selective now. They know what people want.
Yeah, they're starting to control and
Yeah,
understand what
yeah.
their audience want.
So you mentioned
Mm-hmm.
the live action Cowboy Bebop. That's me with John Cho, Alex Hassel, Danielle Pinata, Elena Satine, and Mustafa Shakir. So I don't think there's a release date yet. I thought we covered one, but I guess not.
No, no, they're shooting right now. So we're looking
Hopefully,
at next year.
maybe next fall. All right,
Mm-hmm.
Anton. I'll
Yeah.
take the next one if you don't mind. Uh, I've been checking out Star Trek
Mm-hmm.
Discovery. I'm finally making use of my CBS All Access.
Mm-hmm.
Before I end
Yeah.
up canceling.
Horrible
They're
app.
they're fixing it. They're
Horrible app.
slowly getting better. I'm no longer getting booted out.
Mm-hmm.
I am
Okay,
getting
they heard you.
tired of their freaking AT&T commercial with the boy band. Um, so I kind of wish they had a little more variety, but whatever. It works now.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
Mm-hmm.
so Star Trek Discovery, it's the CBS exclusive all access show, um, starring, and I had the names up here, Sonequa Martin Green, playing, well, I don't want to say, I guess, a Starfleet member, Michael Burnham.
Mm-hmm.
Uh,
Mm-hmm.
dude, I went into this with the wrong idea of what it was going to be. I thought this was kind of going to be like Next Generation. I thought it was going to be like the original series, pretty much following a captain kind of being a badass, and every episode is a different adventure. This is more of a long
Mm-hmm.
play. They, yeah. So
Hmm.
the show starts off the way I expected, and then halfway through, I guess I'll tell you the first, what happens in the first episode, because that kind of sets up the rest of the season. Michael Burnham is the right hand person of the captain, the I guess the first mate. I don't know I forgot what it was called. Um, First
Mm-hmm.
officer. There you go. Uh, and they first
Mm-hmm.
encounter the Klingons. So this takes place right before the original series uh, with William Shatner, but right after the Scott Bakula series Enterprise, that came out in the late '90s.
Mm-hmm.
So this is,
Yeah, because this Discovery is the older
yeah,
ship out of all
right, right.
the
So
ones that
this
we're
happens
familiar
right
with.
before the Klingon War
Mm-hmm.
started, and the first episode takes place with the first conflict between the Klingons, um, where
Mm-hmm.
Michael Burnham, her family was killed by a Klingon attack on a planet, and she was raised as an orphan by actually Spock's dad. So she's Spock's half foster sister, I
A
guess.
sister. Yeah.
Um,
Mm-hmm.
so she kind of has that, she's human, but she has the thought process of a Klingon. Um, so she, what, like when they encounter this, she remembers what happens with the Klingons, and her first thought was, we can't show weakness. Starfleet's first instinct when encountering a species is, let's talk it out. Let's not escalate things. It's not necessary. We're
Mm-hmm.
not animals.
Yeah, that's the whole
Right.
point of
But
the Starfleet.
Michael Burnham, she knows the Klingons better.
Mm-hmm.
She knows like they're more of a of alpha species. They respect power. That's how they,
Mm-hmm.
by challenging somebody that's a Klingon, you're showing them respect because you're saying that they're worthy. She knows this, and she tries to convince her
Mm-hmm.
captain to attack the ship. Just do an attack first. Don't even
Mm-hmm.
hesitate. Nothing happened. The captain refuses. The captain is actually the mom from Crazy Rich Asians. I'm blanking on her name right now.
Oh, it's
Yeah, dude, she's
Michelle
great
Yeoh.
in this, dude. She embodies
Mm-hmm.
she's a great
Mm-hmm.
captain.
Yeah,
Yeah,
she's a great actress, dude. I don't think it doesn't matter what role she takes.
yeah.
She owns it every single
Philippa
time.
Giorgio. That's the name of Melissa Yeoh's character. So pretty much, Michael
Mm-hmm.
Burnham ends up uh, do, mutinizing. Uh, yeah, pretty
Mm-hmm.
much does a mutiny and goes attacks her captain. Does like the Klingon pinch or whatever thing is, and tries to attack the Klingon ship. And then by the time
Mm-hmm.
before she was able to get the attack off, the captain comes back in, arrests her, and then in that process, the Klingons attack them, and then that's how the war starts. So the series starts off with her
Mm-hmm.
being Starfleet's first mutineer. She's the first, like, yeah, she's the first person in Starfleet
Wow.
to ever go against her captain, and the rest of the series is her, regaining the trust of Starfleet, proving herself as a member of this organization. Like I did what I thought was best. I wasn't trying to do it.
Kind of like what Captain Kirk
Kind of.
tried to do.
Yeah.
But
So
yeah,
yeah.
yeah,
So I mean,
that's kind of cool.
and the thing is, like,
Hmm.
the like about this, like, the first 1/3 of the season goes as expected. Kind of like, okay, cool. They're building up to it. That she's trying to regain trust, but then as the middle of the season and then the last part of the season, it keeps adding to the story and making it more twisty turny. Like the story isn't as clean cut as you think. Even up until the last episode, I was like, "What the fuck?" I really, I know a lot of hatred was for the
Wow.
first season, saying that was boring. I think that happened because people
Hmm.
were watching it week to week, and I happened to binge the whole season in like a
Hmm.
week span. So I got to see the whole arc
Yeah.
in a good time frame rather than over the course of weeks or months.
Yeah, I think that's the thing about these shows is people are
Hmm.
expecting too much action nowadays, and people are so used to that. I remember a lot of the old Star Trek series. From week to week, the
Yeah,
episodes are really slow.
they're slow and they're
Yeah.
the adventure of the week or monster of the week, and I think that's what
Hmm.
people were expecting for this
Hmm.
one is, what catastrophe is going to strike the in this case the Discovery. What monster are they going to encounter this
Hmm.
time? This is more of
Hmm.
we'll give you a small adventure here, but we're building up the main story every
Hmm.
episode. Yeah, so I like it, dude. I'm about to
Yeah.
start second season. Second season is I'll tell you this: it introduces Spock. We do get a Spock, and also Commander Captain Pike, which was the captain
Hmm.
of the Enterprise before Kirk took over. Okay.
Hmm. Okay, so back to Netflix. There's a show called Hyperdrive. Have you heard about this one?
I thought oh, is this the car show? Okay.
Yeah, this is the car show. It's produced
Mm-hmm.
by Charlize Theron, which is kind of interesting. This is how she describes the show when people ask her what it is. It's basically American Ninja Warrior meets Fast and Furious. Uh, that was basically her pitch to Netflix before
Yeah.
the series even took off. So it's the world elite drivers from all around the world. They would come to this competition, not knowing what
Yeah.
the heck they were gonna do. And dude, it is crazy. It's a big course, kind of similar
Uh-huh.
to American Ninja Warrior. But this time around, instead of using strength, you're using car skills that you can
So
maneuver your own
is this
car.
American
So
Ninja
people,
Warrior meets
go,
Top Gear?
uh, Fast and Furious because you're
Over
more
the top action.
customizing
Okay.
your own car.
Okay.
Yeah.
Mythbusters meets.
So
All right, got it. Sorry, got it.
yeah, so yeah, people who come here to compete from all around the world, all their cars are different. Uh some are more into like muscle cars, some are into like drift cars, some are into like super fast cars like Lamborghini. Yeah, but throughout this whole entire series, they're going through like obstacles of like trying to drift and hit certain targets, try to gain speed on certain straightaways, and try to turn and try to be exact. Um, yeah, so it's all about like car control, like who's good at doing that and who's able to keep up with the speed. There's a couple of really interesting obstacles where where I'm watching, I'm like, why would that be an obstacle? But it totally
Yeah.
like screws people up. Like there's this like big pool of water, and it's probably about like 2 feet deep. And whenever a car goes through that pool, uh, the water gets into the engine, which is kind of crazy. Like, why would you do that to a competitor? But it just kind of tells them to
Hmm.
take their time, go slow. But some of them attack that pool so hard that their whole entire engine just shuts off, and it's like game
Yeah.
over for a lot of them. Um, yeah, and because I used to film a lot of drifting back in the days, I understand. Like that's just how it is. That's racing. Anything can happen when you know that a specific person is a really good driver, and they're going to do really well. You never know. Their engine might blow up. Something bad
Yeah.
can happen to
Especially,
anybody.
it's
Yeah.
explosions happening under the hood. Like that's what a combustion engine is. It's literally like
Yeah.
little explosions. So yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, Side note,
Mm-hmm.
I told my girlfriend about you risking your life to get the perfect drift shot at one event, and you could have gotten run over. Do you still have the clip
Yeah.
somewhere? Because I want to show her.
Oh yeah. It's on my my
Okay.
Vimeo page. You can
Okay.
check it out
Appreciate it.
later. I'll
I
link
want to
it.
show her
Yeah.
just how like how zoned out you were in that moment. I told her, I'm like, I
Yeah.
swear he forgets that he's behind the. He's actually there. Like he's so focused on the display that
Mm-hmm.
you make that disconnect, huh? Like you disconnect between reality and
Yeah.
watching something from a monitor.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, I got tackled once, but that wasn't because of me. It was because I was focusing on the ball. The ball's already down,
To be fair, they say,
and behind me, there's people still playing the game when
yeah.
that play already ended, and then I got tackled from behind. So if it was in front of me, I would have
To be
known what
fair,
happened,
you
but
you did what you're
it
supposed
was
to do.
my
You
fault.
kept your eye on the ball. Yeah.
Yeah, and I kept the camera
I
up
told I
when I
told her
was
that part
on
too.
the ground.
I was like, he valued his life more than
Yeah,
he valued the camera more than his life. Yeah, it is.
yeah, it's
All right,
expensive.
that's on.
Yeah.
So is that it for what's it called? Override, Overdrive, Hyperdrive.
Hy- Hyperdrive. Yeah, dude, it's fun. It's really fun to watch. I highly recommend it. There's a lot of moments where you're like rooting for a certain person, but then you never
Yeah,
know what's gonna happen to them. But I'm pretty happy with the end
I
result. I can tell you that. The person who won it,
I
I
wonder if
think they
this came
deserved it.
out because of the upcoming show on Quibi or Quibi, whatever it's going to be called. Elba versus
Hmm.
Block. I wonder
Oh
if
yeah,
car shows are making a
uh,
comeback.
maybe it's entertaining to watch, and they actually got Rutledge Wood from
Oh, oh, Rut.
the Top Gear USA. Yeah, he's one of the
Oh,
hosts
nice.
for the show.
Because he wants to be the car guy.
Hmm.
All right, Anton. Ready to roll
Yeah.
into our last segment, movies? All right.
Yes. Let's do that.
All right, Anton. So our numbers, the numbers as of Wednesday, September 4th. Number one, you have Angel Has Fallen with a total of 46.7 million. Number two, Good Boys with 60.9 million. Number three, Overcomer with 20.5 million. Number four, Ready or Not with 23.1 million. And in fifth place, Fast and Furious presents Hobbs and Shaw with a total of 160.2 million. Have you seen Good Boys yet? Uh,
I
uh,
have not, but I want to see it so bad. I know you want to talk
all
about
right, all
it, but
right.
we'll get there.
I mean, I wanted to dive into the movies that are coming up, next during the fall
Hmm.
and during the winter, but I think since we're running along, we'll shelve that for now.
We can go through 5 movies if you want.
I'd rather shelve it because I also want to make a list for myself too. I haven't looked ahead. But I will
Okay. All right.
say tomorrow I'm gonna go
Sounds
check
good.
out It Chapter 2. I'm really curious about it.
I
Okay.
think I'm going
I'm
to.
also not looking forward to the
Yeah.
nearly 3 hour runtime.
Oh yeah, dude. I had a screening yesterday for it, but I didn't get a
It's a
chance to go because I was at
ah,
Oga's Cantina.
yeah, two. I think the runtime was
Yeah.
2 hours 49 minutes. I wanted to tweet out
Wow.
Avengers. What was it? Avengers Endgame. It game. I don't know if I end it. Avengers End It. I forgot what it was. I had a good thing going. I had a good thing in my mind when I first thought of it. and then when I was writing the headline for this, I couldn't think of it.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah. All right, Anton. If people want to listen to us explore the world of Disney and weddings, how can I do that?
They can do that by going to our website at www.the2oc.com and maybe buy something from our store, like a sticker, t-shirt, hat. And also, if there was something that we talked about on the show that people are probably interested in, the Fast and Furious movie set, they can probably do that by clicking on our Amazon banner, and it gives us a little kickback if anything is purchased.
Yeah. I think right now on our Twitter we have a link to pre-order. What's it called? Oh my god, I'm blanking out on it. That open map game where it's like a cell shading. Borderlands. There we go. I'm like Open Lands, Outer Lands. Borderlands 3. If you click on a link, you pre-order the game on Amazon, you get a $10 credit, promo credit.
I really like that game. I wish
I'm down for 3, even though that is a time sucker. That game.
Yeah. Dude, interesting fact. Did you ever see the pre-rendering of the game before the actual release of the game?
I thought this was a pre-render. The way it looks.
No. Yeah, the way it looks, but before it used to be, it used to look like Destiny.
So they were really trying to go for that.
Yeah.
That futuristic 3D look, and then they went more like a retro, artsy look.
I think somebody in the studio or something like that, they're like, let's change it up. Let's make it look different. So then they probably just like put like cell shaded.
It does look like your graphics card is overheating and it's not quite rendering, but it looks gorgeous though. Mm-hmm. It's a very clever way of portraying it. So people can follow us on social media at the 2OC, Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook. You can also send us email to mail@the2oc.com. Let us know what your thoughts on the upcoming movies for this fall.
Mm-hmm. Today's podcast is also brought to you by Audible. Get a free audiobook download and 30-day free trial at audibletrial.com/the2oc. There are over 180,000 titles to choose from, and you can use it on your iPhone, Android, Kindle, player, or anything that you have that plays music. Yeah. So for this week, I would recommend.
Dude.
It.
Almost 45 hours worth of audio, dude. That's a good deal right there.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And then compare it to the part 2 that comes out. All right, Anton. Anything else that we missed? All right.
I think that's it.
For the 2OC, I'm Al Flores. Have a good one, guys.
Anton Duval.